All right, seventh graders, we are going to switch over to code.org. I know that if you were here last year that you're familiar with this, and if you're new this year, this is what we're going to be spending some time on. Code.org is going to allow us to explore creating web pages and some other computer science slash coding stuff. Some of you are probably thinking, I already did this. Well, because of the way the school year went last year, some of you got to do this first semester, and then others of you started doing this second semester, but because of the way the classes went, a lot of the second semester kids didn't get as far and cover as much stuff, just because of the whole pandemic thing. So we're going to all start together on Unit 2, which is creating the web page. And some of you who probably did this maybe did it very well, and this is just going to be an opportunity to do it again. And some of you maybe who didn't do it so well the first time, this is going to give you an opportunity to redo it. And for some of you, it'll be new. I'm going to walk us through here some stuff, and then you'll be having assignments. Now, we will not be submitting these assignments through Google Classroom, but I will be coming into code.org and checking your progress and checking that you've done stuff correctly. And if you don't do it correctly, you're going to redo it. So just as an FYI. All right, so exploring web pages. Question of the day, why do people create web pages? And there's hundreds of reasons why people create web pages. As you go through this, I want you to click every time it's time to move on. You're going to hit continue. So I'm going to do this. What I want you guys to do is I want you to follow along in your code.org with this, whether you watch this video, then go back and do it, or if you want to open up your code.org and follow along through this. Now, I'm not going to make you guys do this, but you can see that these are just some personal web pages. Somebody likes their dog. Haikus are a type of a poem. Somebody took a trip and they want to talk about it, musical instruments, and then somebody is passionate about recycling and has created that. So these are just a small example of what web pages can be created for. It's endless as far as what web pages are created for. Now, at this point, I want you guys to think about, you are going to be creating your own web page. So I want you guys to be thinking about, what do you want it to be about? Okay, as long as it's school appropriate, it can be anything that falls in that category, school appropriate. So here's some examples, and like I said, it's endless as far as it's appropriate. All right, so I'm not going to worry about clicking on those. We'll talk more about that. So now this puts me into lesson 2, Intro to HTML. Question of the day, how can you tell the computer both what to put in the web page and then how to organize it? And this is going to introduce HTML. HTML is basically, it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's basically the language used to create web pages, HTML. Some of the vocab there, HTML element, it's a piece of the website, and it's marked by a start tag and a end tag, and we're going to talk about tags. HTML tag, it's a set of characteristics that tells the computer basically what to do. And then website content and structure is just going to be how it's organized. So these are some of the things. This is our HTML code down here that we're going to be using. All right, so I'm going to hit continue. And this is what your workspace is going to look like. So you're going to have your files, and here's an example up here. You're going to have your files over here. As far as right now, you just have index, but you'll have your other HTML information there. This is your workspace, and then whatever you type here, it's going to show up over here. And up here, a lot of times are your examples, and sometimes you may have to scroll because they may not always show up. The platform you are in is called Web Lab, so that's what we're going to be doing with Web Lab. And it just says there's 3 main parts. Obviously, the files, the workspace, and the preview. Try typing something in the workspace. So I'm just going to come down here and I'm just going to type hello. And it says press refresh and save to see it in the preview area. So I'm going to come over here to refresh and save, and it pops up over here. So work area, preview area. All right, so you guys can do that. Like I said, you're going to go back and you're going to go through this. Either you can follow along with me, or once I've done this, you can go back and do it. Once you're done with a set of instructions, you're going to come down here and hit finish, and that'll take you to the next spot. And here is a video, and we're all going to watch this video.
My name is Milani. I'm a curriculum development intern here at code.org, and I'm also a computer science student at Cascadia College. I always liked the fact that I can make whatever I want with computer science. I've been able to make really cool websites that are about topics I'm really passionate about, and I just really enjoy that there's so many different ways to express myself through such an outlet. Websites are everywhere, and they're the primary way many people get their news, keep up with friends' activities, learn new information, and share the details of their lives. Right now, you might be a consumer of websites created by others, but you're about to learn how to be a website creator with the power to make and share something brand new with the entire world. To do this, you'll be using WebLab, a unique tool that allows you to create your own websites with many of the same capabilities as a professional web developer. The instructions section includes directions for the project you're currently working on. When you're ready, you can collapse the instructions and shrink the size. Below the instructions, WebLab has a list of files and images that will appear on the website. Just like a news website has different pages for the front page, the arts and entertainment page, and the science page, your website will eventually have multiple pages based on files stored here. To edit a web page, you'll need to navigate to the right file name that corresponds to that page. Every project starts with a single index.html file, which is the main page of your website. When you click on the index.html file, it pulls up the contents of the file over here in the Workspace. The Workspace is where you develop your website. You can start by typing anything in the Workspace. Let's put a title at the top of our page, followed by a paragraph about our page. As you type, you may see some of your changes appear automatically in the preview area. Some kinds of changes will not appear automatically. If your change doesn't appear immediately, just click the refresh button above the preview area to update the preview. You'll notice that all the content on your web page gets lumped together, which is not what we want. But stay tuned. You'll soon learn ways to better control how your content appears.
All right, we'll continue on here real quick. All right, so it says explore HTML, and again, you're going to be doing this. This web page written in HTML, so this is what HTML looks like. You'll notice they have some information here, and they've gotten some stuff done, and this is what writing this code like this is what it looks like over here. Click the tip, how to use the instructor tool. All right, inspector tool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the inspector, and right now it's turned off. And also you'll see this. Sometimes you can click on that and that'll give you some instructions. Sometimes there will be something here and sometimes there won't. Inspector tool is right here. I'm going to turn it on. And the cool thing about this is that, and again we can shrink this so we can see it. When I point to this is a web page, you'll notice that as I'm pointing here, it highlights over here. So this is a web page, and that way, if you're not sure if something's not looking right, it's not working the way you want it, if you've got a lot of code over here, then you can figure out where it's at. Okay, so hopefully you can see what's changing when I point to inspector tool, what's changing on the left-hand side in that code. So you don't have to use the inspector tool, but a lot of times the more code you have, it'll be easier. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off, and then it just says click there, and I just want you to discuss that. So this is just a nice tip that they've put in here to help you navigate easier. All right, so I'm going to hit finish. I'm not going to watch this one video, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and let you watch this on your own. It's talking about the HTML tags and stuff, so you can watch that. I have a limited amount of time here and I want to walk through this. So here's some practice, And I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And again, you can watch that. Every time you guys start, we're going to have an index because that's our home page. And we're going to have this stuff is right here is going to be on your screen. All right, it says when you start the web lab, all of this is going to be, all these tags are going to be there. When you add content, we're going to be working between the bodies. So whenever you add anything, it's going to be between this body and this body right here. All right, that's where we're going to be adding any content right now. You should not be anywhere else. Right here between body. It says write 3 sentences about any topic you like inside the body tag of your of my web page. So I'm just going to put I have one dog named Tucker. I don't know if this is supposed to be indented. All right, so there's 3 sentences. Write these 3 sentences and you'll notice that they come up over here. This is how it looks over here, but that's not how it looks over there. All right, and if it wouldn't have shown up, I can hit the refresh and save. So that's just what it tells us to do. So I want you guys to do 3 school appropriate sentences. So I'm going to hit finish. All right, now it's going to talk about paragraphs. That's basically what our web page is made up of, is paragraphs. So what you're going to do is we're always going to have a start and an end. So what you're going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do a P for paragraph, and then that starts my paragraph, and then I have to tell the computer where I want it to end. And then the difference is the slash mark will tell it to end. Now you can tell, look, now it's a sentence. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing with these. All right, and I don't know why it doesn't have the K there. All right, and I'm going to start. So this is how, when you have sentences, you're going to need to do this. So again, you guys are going to go through here and you're going to actually do this on your own. And you can tell everything's okay because there's nothing pink. When you see something pink, that means there's an error, and we can talk more about that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, now this looks over here like it does over here, and this is what I wanted it to look like. So I'm going to hit finish. And then the last thing it talks about is that this is a simple web page, and if you read the sentences, it says this sentence should be on its own. So should this one. What's wrong with this sentence? So you have to just put in what's missing. So basically, I can tell that they have a paragraph started here, but they didn't close it right here. So I'm going to do a closing thing. All right. And I'm going to do a starting one. And you'll notice that it should be changing over there if you do stuff right. And then this just needs to be taken out. All right, so there you go. I've got us going on this. I'm going to hit finish, and this is what I expect for you guys to have done today, is watch this video and get lessons 1 and 2 completed. All right, and be thinking about a computer or a web page that you're going to want to create.